The husband wanted to sell a piece of land worth $1 billion, but his wife insisted on leaving it to their adopted son. That night, the husband put on a pair of white gloves, took an old baseball bat from the shelf, closed the bathroom door, and struck his unsuspecting wife with brutal force. Minutes later, a gang of thugs came into the store, smashing things up. Surveillance footage captured not only their misdeeds but, oddly enough, the very bat that killed the wife was later found in the gang's office. The thugs were adamant in denying any involvement, claiming ignorance of the incident. However, based on the evidence, the police concluded that they were the killers. Meanwhile, the wife's skull was shattered and she fell into a deep coma. Soon, a Grim Reaper appeared at the hospital to take her soul. However, she wasn't actually dead yet, so her spirit furiously argued with the Reaper, demanding he leave or she would complain about him in the underworld. Annoyed, the Reaper moved to rip out her tongue, but Cha Woong, who could see spirits, intervened, asking why the Reaper was disregarding procedure. The wife still had 6 hours of life left, so the Reaper was urged to wait outside. At this moment, Detective Sul-hye walked in and saw Cha Woong acting strangely alone. When she asked if a ghost had been around, Cha Woong confirmed that the wife had been arguing with the Reaper. Hearing this, Sul-hye grew sorrowful, assuming the wife had died. Cha Woong explained that when someone falls into a deep coma, their soul may separate from their body temporarily. The wife's spirit, still enraged, declared that she wouldn't leave until her killer was found. Cha Woong relayed this to Sul-hye, but Sul-hye assured her that the suspects had already been caught, the same gang members who had recently been causing trouble in the store. It turned out that some mobsters had wanted the property and tried to pressure the wife to sell. However, the land was intended as an orphanage for children, and she refused to let them lose their home. No matter how high the offered price, she stood firm in rejecting the sale. Upon hearing this, the wife felt hopeless, claiming her real killer had not yet been caught. Sul-hye was shocked and quickly asked for more information. Just then, the husband walked in, tearfully thanking Sul-hye, then sat beside his wife with a sorrowful expression, telling her that the culprits had been arrested and pleading for her to wake up, claiming he couldn't live without her. His deep love moved both Sul-hye and Cha Woong. But in the next moment, the wife, with tears streaming down her face, revealed that he was putting on an act. This revelation stunned Sul-hye and Cha Woong. The two were known for their loving relationship, with the husband bringing her a rose every day and showing affection publicly. After the husband left, the wife recounted her murder to Cha Woong, who then shared the whole story with Sul-hye. They were stunned to learn that her husband was, in fact, a scumbag. Filled with rage, Sul-hye promised the wife that she would make sure the man paid for his crime. However, despite searching through all surveillance footage, Sul-hye found only that the husband had left the store empty-handed. There was no footage of how the baseball bat was moved, which left the investigation at a dead end. But the police soon discovered that a deliveryman had entered the gang's office shortly after the incident, though it wasn't enough to prove collusion. Elsewhere, the husband, realizing his wife's chance of waking was nearly nil, was happily applying lipstick in her hospital room, fantasizing about his prosperous future once the land was sold. Just then, a noise startled him and he called for the doctor. When the doctor arrived and pronounced the wife dead, the husband was initially shocked, then couldn't help but let out a laugh. He quickly shared the good news with his accomplice, arranging to sign the sale contract that evening. But as he left, the nurse preparing to move the wife to the morgue got a terrifying shock. To catch the husband off guard, Sul-hye and Cha Woong's ghostly assistant had given the wife colored contact lenses, rigged the doctor's stethoscope, and made everyone think she was dead. With this setup, Sul-hye and Cha Woong, along with two ghost colleagues, secretly set up cameras at the contract signing location. The husband, feeling cocky, explained his motive for killing his wife, finalized the land price, and moved to sign his name. At the crucial moment, Sul-hye instructed one of the ghosts to disrupt them, as the husband's hand scrawled erratically across the contract. His accomplice thought he was trying to renegotiate the price and grew angry. Just as he was about to lose his temper, the husband's hand, now out of control, began drawing on his face. Another ghost then manipulated the accomplice's hand to stroke the husband's face, which made the accomplice think the husband had spiked his drink. Otherwise, how else would he, a straight man, act so strangely with irrefutable evidence in hand? The police arrived to make arrests. The husband, panicked, rushed up to the rooftop with Sul-hye and Cha Woong in pursuit. Cornered on the ledge, he tried to threaten them but lost his footing and slipped. Sul-hye managed to grab his arm with Cha Woong helping, but the husband ultimately fell due to exhaustion. Only 10 minutes remained before the wife's scheduled journey to the underworld. Though she had achieved justice, she still worried for the orphans. Tearfully, she shared each child's likes and dislikes with Sul-hye and Cha Woong. hoping they would care for them in her absence. As she reluctantly prepared to leave with the Reaper, the husband's soul appeared. Seeing each other again, the two erupted into an argument. Even as a spirit, the husband remained fixated on selling the land. His repulsive demeanor was too much for the Reaper, who brought out the Book of Life and Death to summon his soul. The husband, thinking he'd never have to see his wife again, cheerfully waved goodbye. But in the next instant, the Reaper called his name, stunning everyone. The husband never expected that it would be his own time to die. Even the wife was momentarily confused. It turned out that the underworld had received hundreds of petitions from people touched by her kindness, orphans and those she had helped, each praying in the quiet of night for her recovery. The depth of their devotion moved the king of the underworld, who transferred the husband's remaining life to her. So, just be kind. The universe has its own way of balancing things.